back to another episode of the Provocative Podcast. Just realized I did not put my phone on airplane mode. Let me set that because someone always tends to call me while I'm recording the podcast. All right, guys. So today's episode is going to be mostly for my ladies because it is a topic for us women. But before we get into that, let me give you guys a little bit of an intro. I don't have much to share. We didn't do anything crazy this weekend. We watched the fight. I'm not, when it comes to fights and things like that, the boxing fight, I don't, I stay away from getting into the drama of who I want to win or whatever, because I feel like, you build, it's so hard to really get to know a person just through social media and through like these, interviews that they have to go through and things like that. Like I just, one minute I like them, the next minute I don't. And then I'm like rooting for the other person. Then I'm like, nah, I'm rooting for the other person. And I was like, you know what, this is too much. I just like didn't, I was like, whoever wins, wins. But it was really interesting to watch. But that's pretty much all we did this weekend. We had some friends over from San Antonio and we hung out with them. And then Sunday I had a pretty chill day. I've never seen the movie Kicking and Screaming with Will Ferrell. And okay, Gabby's significant other, I call him significant other because he's practically her husband. Ismael was like, oh, I love this movie. And honestly, I was kind of let down. I was expecting it to be a little bit more funny, but what did you think, babe? Did you actually think it was funny? No? Okay. And then we were going to watch another movie, like a love movie, but we had to do a shit ton of laundry. So I was like, let me just put whatever on the background as we fold laundry. And I've been wanting to watch this show, Obsession, on Netflix. And so I was like, fuck it, Chris doesn't really want to watch it, so I'll just put it on background while we both fold laundry. And we both got so invested. It was 4 episodes. And they were like anywhere from 35 to 45 minutes long each. We literally finished that whole, it's a limited series, those 4 episodes that night. It was good because it kept you wanting more, but it was fucked up, guys. It was like, what the hell is this person thinking kind of thing. I was really like, the ending was good. Like it's not something you expect, but it was like really messed up. But it's definitely a must watch for me. Like if you don't have, it's not going to provide you with anything, but I feel like it was good. What do you feel like it was? You think it was good?
Give it a 6.
A 6? I think I give it like a 6.5, 7. I enjoyed it. I just, like I said, it was crazy to watch that, but it was good. It was good. Let me see. I'm thinking that's it. We haven't really been doing anything much else. Honestly, I don't like to think too much when it comes to Mercury retrograde, because the more I focus on it, the more I feel like it affects me. And this one specifically, I knew it was going to affect Virgos. And I was like, nah. I'm not going to fucking look into it. But it's been affecting me, guys. Sorry if my lashes are crusty. I've already cried. Like I cried yesterday. I cried today. I've just been doing a lot of crying recently. Just over, like, it literally said that. I literally looked it up before and I was like, nah. It's not going to make me feel that way. It was like, Virgos, do not get like sucked into thinking like, anything's wrong. You're just going to really be contemplating your life right now and it's normal. And I was like, nah. Literally yesterday and today, I was like contemplating my whole life, my whole career. I went from like being okay to like not being okay. It was just, I'm okay now. Chris gave me like a little reality check and I'm okay for the next few hours. I can't promise him that I'm not going to not be okay again, but just, in case you guys are going through similar things with this Mercury retrograde, you're not alone, sister. Okay. It's been tough out here, but all right, guys. So today's episode is going to be about something that I hate we have to talk about, but it's something we should talk about. And I feel like I've been a little bit more, I wanted to share this topic more now because, as you guys know, I'm training for my half marathon. And it's just, I listened to Murder with My Husband, and it did not help. The recent one we listened to was a killer who specifically targeted women who were running on trails by themselves. So it hasn't really made me feel any safe, but I wanted to just do this episode with you guys so it could be like sort of a reminder of things that you already know, but also to keep in mind and maybe just like think about next time you're alone. You know, no one ever believes that they're going to be a victim of attack, you know, until it happens. And we always say, like, I don't think that would ever be me. Like, you don't ever think it's going to be you. And it could be any of us. And that's the scary part of it. And, you know, I hate that we live in a world where we don't feel safe, where I feel like I can no longer go out by myself. Like, I need Chris with me because I don't feel safe. I can't tell you the amount of times in the last year that I just want to go to Target or want to go to Home Goods by myself, and I'm still targeted there. I'm still being like, you know, like I'm still put in an uncomfortable situation, and I hate it. And I hate that, you know, I want to be strong. I want to be independent. I want to be able to do these things. But every time I do these things by myself, it's like I can't catch a break. And now it's like, okay, well, now I have to depend on not being alone, on being with someone to be there with me, or, you know, like something bad could happen. And it sucks that we live in a world like that. But for me now, it's like I've accepted it, and it's better to be safe than sorry kind of thing. So today's episode is going to be listing some things to keep you safe, to remind you of things to do when you're out and about on your own or just doing things. So I put number one is do not overshare your location on social media. This one is a big one. I personally share my stuff. Like if we're in a restaurant and I'm with Chris and stuff like that, if we're together, it's fine. But if I'm ever by myself, I do not share my location. If anything, I wait till I'm home, or I'm like, wait like 10, 15 minutes. I'm not in that place anymore. And then I'll be like, oh yeah, my cycle class was great. Like I'm never in the car. Like I never post it while I'm in the car. I'm always really careful about that. And that's probably the only thing I ever post. Like if I'm by myself is like if I'm doing that, but I wait. If I'm alone, I literally wait to post where I'm at anywhere, because I don't ever want to be in a situation where someone might be following me or someone might be there. So I usually tend to wait, but you know, it's happened where people don't wait and they have someone they know. And that is a scary thing, because like I don't know, even with me, like that's why sometimes I don't tag certain places that I go, because I don't, like for instance, my cycle bar. You guys know that I go to cycle bar. I don't tell you guys which cycle bar I go to. I don't tell you what class I go to, because it's scary. I don't want anyone knowing what time I specifically go to that class, because they could be waiting. And I go in that class not being Jazzy Fit. I go in that class being Jasmine Pineda. I don't want anyone to know about my social media following. I don't really want anyone to know who I am. Like, you know, I'm just Jasmine Pineda. Hi, yeah, how are you? Good. Oh, like if people ever ask me what I do, oh, like, you know, I just work from home. Like that's it. When it comes to personal things like that, because I just don't want to be in a situation where, you know, something bad could happen. But always wait to tag your location, or always wait to post your location on social media until you've left a certain place. Number two, do not stay out late alone. I can't tell you how many times I've had to like be like, please, like, I know we want to be strong, and I know we are so strong, guys. We as women, we're so strong. We've gone through so much, and I know like we don't want to depend on anyone else, but the world, even though we think the world's changed and we want to be independent and stuff, the world hasn't changed, and there's still a lot of evil people out there, and you just got to be safe. Please fill your car up with gas during the day. If you know that you're going to go out to dinner with your girlfriend late at night, make sure your car is full, has a full tank of gas, your phone is charged. Like, do not stop at a sketchy gas station on your way back home. Do not make any stops in a sketchy place on your way back home. Like, I know I know someone who had a really bad incident with this, and they were like, I should feel safe. I shouldn't have to like always be on guard. But I'm like, one, you stopped at a sketchy ass location to put gas at like 11 p.m. at night. What were you wearing? And I am not putting blame on her. Please do not think I'm putting blame on her. But we gotta be accepting of the fact, like, if you are in a skimpy little dress, tight ass dress at 11 p.m. at night in a sketchy ass gas station, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think that the men in that area are just going to be like, oh, yeah, she's good looking, look away? No, like you are probably going to be approached. I don't know what else may happen there. Like be alert, be cautious, don't be dumb. Like we want to make it seem like we're independent and everyone should be on the same level and have the same way of thinking that we have, but it's not true. No, like things have changed some bit. Like, and some men are respectful. It's gotten better, but there's still men that aren't, that don't give a fuck. Like, I'm sorry, but they just don't. And if you are not careful, bad shit can happen to you. Plain and simple. So I'm telling you, as much as you want to be like, oh, I can stop wherever I want. Like, just don't do that to yourself. Don't purposely put yourself in situations that might make you be a victim of an attack, right? Don't go running out super late at night. Don't go at a sketchy trail at 8 p.m. at night, right? Like, if you can't run during the day, and I know as I'm saying this, I hate that I'm saying it, guys. I hate it. I promise you I do. And I'm not trying to put blame on us because that is not what I'm trying to do. I am just trying to make you aware of that the world is still a shitty place. There's still mean people out there. And as much as we want to be like, I want to be able to go at 8 p.m. at night and run and feel safe, the ugly truth is that we're not. So do yourself a favor and be more cautious about the times that you go out. Tell someone your location. Let someone know, like, hey, I'm going to dinner with my friend at this point, at this time. I'll let you know when I'm on my way home or whatever. Like, obviously, when I go out by myself, Chris has my location. I text him as soon as I'm leaving the house. I text him as soon as I get there. And then as soon as I'm in the car, typically I'll always call him on my way back home. And yeah, like we'll just talk on the phone until I get home. But he always knows where I'm at. And if he didn't, I would make sure one of my friends knows where I'm at. So just, if you have someone, just let them know. That way, like if you're staying out late, they're keeping an eye out for you, right? So tell someone if your location if need be. And if you're going into an Uber late at night, call someone on the phone. I know like there's been some sort of TikTok videos going around where like you can pretend you're on the phone, but actually try calling someone, call someone and be like, hey, I'm in the Uber now, and just like FaceTime them so they know, tell them exactly where your location is, and just like, you just never know. Like, be attentive, make sure, you're not just on your phone and like, you have no idea where this Uber driver may be taking you if he's not taking you in the right. Like, I'm always like looking at that Uber driver's GPS, like, always. And like I said, it's really rare for me now to be by myself. I'm always with someone or I'm always with Chris. But when I'm by myself, I'm like a guard dog, right? I'm looking at my surroundings. I'm looking at the Uber. I'm looking at the license plate. I'm looking at the time. I'm looking like, okay, let's make sure the direction. I literally put the GPS in my phone and make sure where he's taking me in the same route. Like, I'm that cautious because it's just, you just never know. So tell someone location and call someone if you're in the Uber, but stay alert. Number 3, carry pepper spray or an object that makes you feel safe and is easily accessible. So now with my runs, I got a pepper spray, which I was thinking I've never used a pepper spray in my life. I was like, I need to make sure that the way I put it on my thing is facing away from me, because what if I fucking grab this pepper spray and I spray myself in the eye? I feel like that's something that I would probably do. And then I also bought this, I don't know if you saw, I bought this like little alert thing that is super loud. So when you press it, it'll be like, alert, alert, alert. So if someone's kind of far, they'll be able to hear you. So I was like, okay, this is great, because if I'm running and I feel uncomfortable, you're just gonna hear me down the street. Alert, alert, when I feel like someone is getting too close. But I feel like this was great. Like, I honestly, like, I run in the street, like on the main road, because I want to make sure there's always cars outside. There's multiple traffic. It sucks because there's going to be those cars that honk at me and shit, which is kind of annoying, but I'd rather do that than be like, go on a trail run by myself. Like, I haven't done a trail run by myself. Once my long distances come, I'll probably get Chris to be on a bike next to me, or I'll just make sure there's tons of parks here where, like, during the day, especially on the weekend, that's when I usually have my long runs. everyone is running. So as long as you're running and there's people around you close enough to you where they can hear you, that's great. But if at any point you feel like you're by yourself, girl, do what you got to do to be close to someone, even if that means you got to go a little slow, go back on a trail where there's a lot of traffic so that you're not running by yourself. I'm telling you, I've been a little bit more, I guess, paranoid now with my runs after I listened to that episode of that killer. But I'm just like on high alert. And like even today, there was a truck that circled back around like 3 times around me, like the same truck. And it just scares me. I'm on alert because I'm like, this guy could literally come behind me. This person could come behind me, roofing me, I don't know, and put me in the truck. And like, I'll drop my phone. Chris would never find me. Like, there goes everything. Bye-bye life. Bye-bye life. So I just make sure I'm on alert. I'm aware of my surroundings, and now having the pepper spray and that alert system, I feel a lot better. I was also considering getting a taser, but with a taser, I feel like you have to be a little bit more closer to your, what would you call it? Attacker. Yeah. So I just haven't gotten a taser, but maybe in the future. I did put down guns. Everyone has their own belief on guns, right? For me personally, would I like to own a gun to feel safe? Yes. But I feel like for me to be, I don't know, to be responsible, I would want to make sure I know how to properly use the gun. I want to know, like, because I have a little bit of fear with guns. And so I would hate to like just have one and then like, you just never know. Chris could be joking around with me on my run, like tap me, scare me. What if I pull out my gun and shoot him, or like shoot someone without like reasoning, right? Because I'm just paranoid. So I just feel like guns are an option if you are responsible, if you've taken courses, if you like, our friend Esmal and Chris were just talking about a lady who was getting robbed and she had her gun in her purse, thankfully, and she turned it around and she like shot the guy twice. And she was an ex-policeman or policewoman. So I feel like in that, you have that sort of training. So I don't think anyone, just like some random person, should just go get a gun. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to have a gun in my bag that I go running with. I feel like that, be a little bit more responsible, but that's your decision. We're not going to talk about gun stuff here today, but it's an option, right? So just carry anything that might make you feel safe, a little knife, a whistle, whatever, but carry things that make you feel safe. Always, but number 4, always be on alert and trust your instinct. Why did I say instinct? Be on alert and trust your instinct. A distracted person is an easy target. I can't tell you how many times I see women, young girls too, and I've done this before where I'm like just on my phone looking down, like going into the store on my phone looking down, and you're not on alert, but you just never know. Especially like if you are in a parking garage, be on alert. Nowadays, if I am in a parking lot, I'm with someone, in a parking garage, I'm with someone. If I'm in the parking garage alone, I will always park valet. Just always. I'd rather be safe than sorry. Our mall here close to home is not, you can park in the street, it's fine. But if we go to Galleria, the parking garage is where we usually park, and practically, even when I'm not with Chris, when we're together, we're always valet. It's just better to be safe. There's been so many times where people will watch what you purchase and will follow you to your car, and it's just really, really scary. So I'd rather just be safe than sorry in those situations, but always be on alert. Don't be with your head down. If you're pumping gas, be alert with your surroundings. Don't, be on your phone. Also, don't have your headphones in if possible. There's a lot of times that, you'll just be in the store with your headphones looking at your phone and like you can't hear anything around you. Like if you're by yourself, be a little bit more on guard just to know, like be aware of your surroundings in case, you need to know where you're at and in case you need to ask for help. Trusting your instinct is also really important. I know that, sometimes we're like, oh, maybe I'm just like making it up, and it sucks, right? It sucks that we're like, oh my God, maybe we're just paranoid, but I would rather trust my instinct than something bad happen. I can't tell you how many times I've been like, oh, you know what? No, maybe it's just me. That guy's not following me. That guy's not following me. And then I'm like, I just let it go. And then 10 minutes later, I'm like, okay, no. This guy is definitely following me. It's recently happened at TJ Maxx, at Home Goods, where men will literally follow me from section to section. And they will literally look at like candles and like act like they're dumb and put it back, or like a hairspray, look at it, put it back, kind of look at me. And I'm like, what in the fucking world? I've had to call Chris because I haven't felt safe at the store. Like, it just sucks, but I rather trust my instincts than, like, imagine if I didn't notice that and I walked to my car by myself and you just don't know what happens. Like, one thing about me that I'm trying to work on is I focus a lot on other people's feelings, even the attacker feelings versus my own. There was this one time at Home Goods that this person was legit following me. I got so scared because he was following me everywhere, and he was following me with this like rage in his eyes. Like, I was hiding. I was legit hiding from him. I went to the section in Home Goods. If you guys have been in Home Goods, you guys know they have like rugs hanging down and like towards either the side of the building or the back. I went to hide like in between those rugs because I wanted to see if this guy was actually looking for me or if he was just like browsing. Because I was like, okay, maybe, yes, he's followed me to the seasonings. Yes, he's followed me to the coffee syrups. Yes, he's followed me to the napkins. Let me just see. Maybe I'm just being paranoid. And I went, guys, I'm telling you, this guy was searching for me aisle through aisle. I could see through the rugs where he was just like pacing back and forth. And I got so scared. And then I went to the middle section when there was an employee working, and I got close to her and I just stood there, and he was pacing and he found me and he stopped. And he got so nervous. He almost got pale white. And I just gave him this look like, what the fuck do you want? And I was literally so close to yelling. And I don't know why I didn't yell. I don't know why I didn't ask him, like, why are you chasing me? And try to get someone's attention. Like, I'm telling you, I get like so focused on like, oh my God, I don't want to make a scene and I don't want to do this. When this guy was purposely trying to make me uncomfortable, it was something for me. Like, now looking back, I get mad, and I'm mad that like I didn't say anything. But this is what happens. We're scared. We're like, oh, like maybe we're just overthinking it. Like, no, we're not. And I don't know where he went, but I stayed in the store for an extra hour. I was like, I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving the store. I'm just going to stay here. I'm just going to act dumb, look at more shit, and I'm not leaving. And if I feel like he's still in the store, or if I feel like he's waiting for me outside, I'm going to ask an associate to help me and to walk me out to my car. And I did put that, it's in the cars, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. But if that's what you feel like you need, do it. Ask someone to walk you to your car, but be on alert and trust your instinct. Like, I can't tell you how many times too I've been driving and I'm like, oh, this car looks sus. Like, let me not turn into my street. Let me just like turn around, because you just never know. So I'm just always trusting my instinct. If something tells me to stop, not to stop, to slow down, to take a different way, or just to like be careful about something, I'm always going to listen to it. I'd rather be safe than sorry. So I know sometimes it can seem like, well, I'm just being paranoid. Who cares? Do not feel silly about that. Trust your instinct. Do what your gut is telling you to do. Number 5 is cars. How to get in your car. Have your key out and ready, especially if you are parking, like I said, in a parking garage and you're by yourself. Have your key ready to go. Your bag's ready to go inside the car. Just get in and lock the door. Don't get in, organize everything, leave the car door open. No, get in with all your fucking bags if you have it. Get in the driver's seat, even if you're uncomfortable, lock that shit, and then put your bags in the passenger seat or wherever, and then take off. Do not sit there in the parking lot just being on your phone or just not being around, not checking your surroundings, because you never know. Number 2, if someone asks for help, do not get out if you're already in your car and help. Tell them, hey, I'll call someone for help. What do you need? Do not get out of the car. I can't tell you, like, I actually saw this one because I was doing my research last night to give you guys as many tips as I could. But it's something that sometimes we don't think about. We're like, okay, yeah, if someone asks for help, I think I would help them. I think I would definitely get out of my car and help. And now I'm like, actually, this is really good. Like, do not get out and help, and calls. Tell them, hey, yeah, I'll help. Let me call for help. What do you need? You need me to call 911? You need me to call you whatever to change your tire, whatever you need, I'll call, but I'm not getting out of this car, right? And because we're so quick sometimes to help, but you just never know in these situations. So lock your doors as soon as you get in the car. Do not get out of your car once you're in your car, even if someone asks for help. And like I said, there's no shame in asking an employee to walk you to your car if you feel unsafe. I'd rather have someone walk me to the car if I'm really feeling unsafe. Honestly, I like just, I was like, whoa. Honestly, I would probably get a female employee rather than a male employee to walk me to my car. I think I would just feel safer. I know there's situations where females aren't the best choice either, but for me, I feel like I'd probably ask like I'd probably ask an older lady that to help me in my car, but what if the attacker, knocks this poor old lady down, then I'm fucking screwed. But I'd probably get, a woman to help me into my car if I feel like I need it, but just be on guard. It's so quick to be like, nothing's going to happen to me. Let me just be on my phone. And you just never know. And then at number 6, I just put, take a self-defense class. I'm actually considering, I think, doing jiu-jitsu with Chris. I've been wanting to do jiu-jitsu. I think it's really cool. But I don't want to do it with other men. I'm not going in there to try to like get better at jiu-jitsu itself. I'm just trying to learn how to defend myself. So I was actually just telling him on Sunday, I think it would be cool to take a class together. So he's the opponent that I'm working with and not like some random sweaty guy's nutsack in my face. I think that would be really cool. Or just have like the instructor just teach me one-on-one. But any self-defense class, I think it's great to learn. I know how to box a little bit, but I would still like to learn certain self-defense moves, because sometimes Chris and I be playing around and he can literally take me and like, girls, I am like breathless, and I'm not meaning this in a sexual way at all. I'm just like, I fight with him. Like, I give him everything I got. Granted, I don't want to hurt him, so maybe like if I gave him everything I got, I could probably fight back. But a man can really overpower us. And I know we want to be like, I lift weights and I'm really strong. But if you don't know what to do, a man can definitely overpower us if he's stronger. So taking a self-defense class will just really help you in those certain situations where you might need it. I also took some stuff from a blog called Empty Nest Blessed. It's her dad, the person that wrote the blog, is the chief of police, and his name is Chief Rick Pyle. And I wanted to share some of the things that he shared on the blog because I thought they were really, really cool. So we'll end it with this. He says, if you are harassed, project confidence and be vocal. Say loudly what is going on. Go to a public space and ask for help. Something I could have done in the Home Goods situation, but now I know next time to be like, hey, call him out. Like, what are you doing? Why are you looking at me that way? Can I help you? Is there something that you are looking for? Like, vocalize it. Don't be scared to vocalize it. Now I'm like a little bit more in my element that I'm like, I want to vocalize it because I'm tired of going out and feeling like a victim, feeling like I can't just go to a store and enjoy some one-on-one time. So project confidence and be vocal. Escape is always your best option. Scream and run when possible. All right, escaping. If push comes to shove, fight like your life depends on it, because there's a good chance it does. Do not be afraid to deal with the potential legal repercussions of fighting or defending yourself. Your priority is to keep yourself safe. So yes, whatever it is, fight like your life depends on it, because for the most part, it probably does. Never get into an attacker's car if they order you to, even if they pull a gun. They usually don't want to shoot you. They want to get you in the car. Scream, run, and fight with all you have to avoid complying and getting in the car. If they tell you they won't hurt you, don't believe them. Most bad guys are also liars. I think, a lot of the times we hear these horror stories where people like, they got in the car and you're like, oh my God. And I'm like, it's so scary to think about. And I think about that sometimes where I'm like, okay, what the fuck do I do if I literally just asked Chris the other day, hey, I'm driving your car. What if somebody pulls up to me with a gun and wants to take your car? What do I do? And he's like, let them fucking take the car. Like, I'm like, okay, like, good to know. And because you just don't know. He's like, just don't get in the car. And so it's like, we hear these horror stories and you're like, oh my God, if I had a gun, what do you do? But now listening to this, it's like, do not get in the car, fight for your life. Because honestly, most of the horror stories that you do hear, they're not about the guy wanting to shoot the girl. It's mostly the guy getting her in the car, taking her to someplace abandoned in like a warehouse in the woods, raping them, and then killing them, whatever form they want to kill them, strangulation, cutting them up, whatever it is. But for the most part, they want to kill you on their own terms. They don't want to kill you with a gun. If the gun was an option, they would have just shot you in the head already. So it's like, do not comply and do not get into the car. Do what you can to fight back and run and scream if you have to. So I wanted to share these things with you now more so than ever, just because, like I said, I've been running. I just want to feel safe. And it's really shitty that we're in a world that I can't even go to the store by myself anymore without feeling vulnerable. I can't tell you the last time I went to, actually 2 weeks ago, before the Coachella event, I went to the mall to like the Quick Mall here. I was like, I'm just gonna go on Forever 21 to make sure there's like a cute top that I could take or whatever to LA. And I literally, like, first of all, I got eaten up by like 10 guys just with their eyes. And guys, granted, I do not, when I'm around here and I'm running errands, guys, this is the time that I'm like, please no one know me, because I'm like, hair is up, no makeup. Sometimes I didn't even put moisturizer on my face that morning. I'm not even like, sometimes, thankfully, I'm just wearing all black so it matches. But I'm not, I know I'm not ugly, but I'm not like dressing to impress, right? I'm just like running errands. And that's when sometimes I get stopped the most. And I'm like, please, can I just not go from one end to the store to the other with not being stopped? This guy came all the way into Forever 21. He saw me walking out of Forever 21 because I had to get socks for my man. I came back, went into Forever 21. This man comes into Forever 21 just to ask me out. And I was like, I get it. I know you guys want to ask girls out, and that's the way to do it. You have to approach them and stuff. But like, I don't know. I just don't like being approached by men. I don't like it. I think I'd rather, even if I was single, I'd rather like meet someone at the bar or at a restaurant, like, let me approach you, or like, if I'm making eye contact with you, if I was single and I was making eye contact with you, that gives you the sign, like, and maybe I smile at you, hey, come approach me. But if I'm not making any eye contact with you, please don't come up and approach me, right? Like, don't go up to girls and approach you if they haven't made eye contact. Eye contact is the number one thing to know that a person's interested in you. If that person has not made eye contact with you, they probably are not interested in you. So do not make a move on them. But it's just scary. I was actually talking with Gabby too. She just had 2 similar situations like this where she was out. Thankfully, Ismail was close by, but like, it's just scary. It's really scary now that I'm like, okay, well, now I can't even go to Home Goods on my own. Like, I have to get Chris to come with me, and my man's on a time limit. He only gives me like 30 minutes because then he's tired. So it's like, I'm like, I just want to go to the store, just look at random shit, take my time, pick up this mug, look at it. I'm like, oh, this is a nice mug. Move on to the next thing. When I'm with him, it's like, no, I don't even have time to look at the mugs. I'm there for what I came for. And I feel so rushed. I just want to be able to go to the store and like enjoy my time there and not be approached by anyone and not feel like I'm being followed by someone. But anyways, guys, just wanted to give you guys a little bit of tips, a little things to remind you to stay safe out there, to do what you can, to be on guard, be on alert, just in case. I know we don't want to go out there and always feel tense, but just be safe and be careful with your surroundings and who you trust. And I hope this helps you guys out. All right, guys, that's going to be it for this episode. Don't forget to share it. Also, this one's an important one. Share it with someone, especially if you have a younger sibling. I have younger sisters. I'm going to make them listen to this because I know that my sister sometimes she'll be like just texting her on the phone when she's putting on gas, and that always makes me a little nervous. So, share it with someone you love. And don't forget to tag if you share the Provocative Podcast. And I appreciate you all listening, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.